Good evening, fellow earthlings, and greetings, or g'day, love and hugs. Put that pure light out there, the pure light. Okay, it's just not light anymore, this is the pure light. Okay, we've gone up levels. You've had a bit of the truth, now you're going to get all the truth. The pure light. Okay, divine. The divine pure light. It's all good. It's all good. Now, this is great because we touched on. Why do I get an itchy nose now? Okay, excuse me for doing that. When you got an itch, you got to scratch it, haven't you? So, come on, what were I just talking about? That's right, I was excited. Okay, now, they're going on. And some of these politicians, sometimes, I won't mention any names, but the names, yes, I get excited because half their policies I agree with and half I won't. Some politicians I agree with the whole bloody lot. But as a candidate, when I was a candidate for Trumpeter Patriots, I mingled and got to know the opposition. Now, most of us want the same thing because it's only natural we've got common causes because we're Australian. And most of us want that right thing. But unfortunately, in the Liberal and Labor Party, they've had those lobby groups and come on, guys, you can tell me, Liberal or Labor, you branch stack. There's branch stacking going on. And that's what I was going to bring up in that last one. You're branch stacking. As I said, you get corrupted and you leave uni and go into these young Labor or young Liberal parties and you're just stuck there. So you don't know what the outside world's like as a career politician. You have no idea. As I said, you're on the gravy train. You need to get out and about or at least have a trade or do some kind of job before you get into politics. Because generally you'll have a rough idea what it's like on the outside of politics. You just don't know nothing but the just feed of taxpayers' money on the gravy train. So anyway, the reason I got in here tonight was to inform you and take it in the right context because these extremists, and they call them extremists and radicals. Well, they're just mad. They're just mad. I call a spade what it is, and they're mad, okay? They're just mad because if that's their way of thinking, they're mad. Now, and what we call them is fanatic. They're fanatical. And you got fanaticism or fanaticism. Now you've got religious fanaticism and you got also the politics side of it. Okay? Your politics fanaticism. And this is where I can see how it's all gone wrong because as I said, they're trying to rebrand shit. These fanatics are just plain mad. And now they call them extremists and radicals. They're mad. They're just mad. They're fanatics, okay? They're fanatical and fanaticism or fanaticism. Political fanaticism. And you've got religious fanaticism. Well, this is why quickly. Okay, fanaticals, fanaticism comes from the Latin fanaticus. It's Latin, okay, fanaticus, and inspired by a deity, mad or frenzied. You know how when a crowd goes in a frenzy? It's a mad crowd for a while, isn't it? Okay? So early English meaning the early